Today, in our fourth installment of the DNAs of Successful Franchise Systems, we'll address the critical areas of sales, marketing, and advertising. Marketing effectiveness is an area that you really need to dig deep into. You need to understand what the franchise system's calendar is for local marketing and advertising. You need to understand what those expenditures are. Review them carefully and understand what's required versus what's optional. For optional programs, try to understand what the system-wide participation rates are and why they are optional. For required programs, try to understand the performance and effectiveness of those programs in driving new business. Carefully examine the franchise system's lead generation program, if they have one, and ask what training is provided to help franchisees convert leads to customers. As the franchisor is the steward of the brand, be sure to inquire as to what advertising is taking place on a brand level and what they suggest you ought to do or require you to do from a direct advertising standpoint locally. PR is also something you should be looking at to understand not only what's going to be done around opening, but also how and what you should be doing to utilize PR to raise awareness of your location in your particular market. Validate the effectiveness of these programs, overall marketing, sales, and advertising, and do so by speaking with owners in two parts. One, those who've been open less than a year to understand the pre-opening and initial opening phase, and then those who've been open perhaps more than 2 years so that you can understand how the ongoing advertising, marketing, and sales functions and processes work. Okay, customer experience. That is a primary driver of every business's performance. And it will definitely be the outcome of every customer interaction that defines the future success of any business, because in any business, it is a referral relationship that ultimately arises, where whether it's a consumer or a business-to-business relationship, they will refer or speak of you to others. Franchisors should have defined standards, resources, and methods for addressing customer complaints. Best-in-class franchisors may actively engage in gathering and sharing customer feedback, perhaps monitoring complaint resolution, and may in fact provide data on actual customer experience using tools like NPS or similar. Look, no one is perfect, so franchisors should be providing coaching, sharing best practices so that you understand how to improve customer experience over time. Be sure to inquire how franchisors integrate customer experience into their overall assessment of a franchisee's performance. Reputation. Any system you consider joining should have a strong and positive reputation. Doesn't mean that it's perfect. It should be evident online and through social media how strong the reputation of the brand and its franchisees are. Because problems are inevitable, the franchisor should also have a crisis management plan, and they should be sharing those elements and explaining what those resources are. Not because we count on them occurring, but because we want to know that we're prepared. I sincerely hope you find this series to be helpful, and if at any point you've got questions, reach out. And if you'd like to discuss how we can help maximize your prospects for success as a franchise business owner, feel free to schedule time with us. Thank you, and be well.